we're back with yet another team preview video, trying to get back to doing some of these throughout the summer and everything. We're halfway through May. We got June, July, and then half of August, and then we'll be kicking off the college football season. We're going to try to get as many of these out as possible. We just got done, literally just got done recording the Tennessee video, so y'all go check that out. That'll be first up, possibly to upload. I'm going to try to upload this one too. But if you're watching this, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and let's get into it. Ohio State 2026 football preview, and you kind of talk about Julian saying he's amazing. Jeremiah Smith, he's incredible, right? They have all these key pieces. They got Bo Jackson at running back, was a freshman last year, looked very, very good. Could be the lead rusher again this year for the Buckeyes. They have so many great pieces on that offensive line, on the defense too. They do lose guys like Caleb Downs to the NFL, but the way they're recruiting, the way they use the portal, the depth that they have, a little bit of an experience on that secondary, but at the same time, you give them credit and say that they have a really good chance regardless of that fact. So, without further ado, let's get into their schedule. We just looked at Tennessee. Interesting, these two teams actually met in the first round of the playoffs a couple years ago. But to get into Ohio State, how do they get back on top of college football? They got to give it everything they got. Ball State is the opener at home on September 5th. They also go on the road to Texas. This was a close game to open last season, 14-7 in Columbus. I really like Texas this year. We'll get to that game in a minute. Kent State, Illinois, at Iowa could be kind of rough. Not really. It's Ohio State we're talking about. Maryland at Indiana will be interesting. Again, we'll talk about some of these games. You get the bye week. You get the USC Trojans on the road. You get Oregon, Northwestern at Nebraska, and host your rival in Michigan. That being said, where do I see faults here? Where do I see them failing? Julian Sayin is going to be one of the Heisman front runners if he's not the top. He's going to have good weapons around him. Again, Jeremiah Smith and company. But, that defense, a couple key pieces to replace. Sonny Styles is gone. I could go down the list, right? Caleb Downs. So, at Texas, that's your first biggest test. First big test, really. It's going to be a night game, week 2 on the road. I cannot confidently say that Ohio State will win that game. Could be wrong. But we'll see. We'll come back to it. I'll pick that last. At Iowa, I'm going to say is a close win. I think Iowa will be very much improved this year, but at the same time, I don't think they're playoff potential type of team, playoff caliber, if you will. I don't think that's them this year. I think that they're looking to hit around what they had last year. Maybe they hit close to 10 wins, but again, for me, I got to see it to believe it. I had made a bet last offseason with Uncle Lou. I said they'll hit the over 7.5, and they did. And he never paid me. Damn it! You owe me $10. But anyways, I still could say that they would probably hit around 8-4, but we'll see. We'll talk about Iowa some other day. Maryland at Indiana, which won't be the same as last year, but they'll still be pretty good competing for the Big Ten, I'm sure, just because of Kurt Cignetti's mindset and demeanor of how he coaches his team. They do have the TCU transfer Josh Hoover at quarterback, replacing the Heisman winner in Fernando Mendoza. Off week for Ohio State on October 24th. Halloween, you go to the Coliseum to play the Trojans. We'll see what Lincoln Riley looks like. Oregon at home. I think Oregon's going to be one of the most dangerous teams this year, and I think they usually are, obviously. They got so much coming back, man. They got so much coming back. Watch out for them. I could see that possibly being a tough loss for the Buckeyes, but again, I don't know. We'll talk about it at the end. Northwestern at Nebraska, and then host Michigan. Um, so I don't, I don't know. I know this. I'm gonna pick them 10-2. Uh, I don't know the two losses. I would take a guess and say at Texas and then home against Oregon because I don't see Michigan going to Columbus and pulling off an upset. And I know what you're thinking. Will they keep doing it? Yeah, I know. But they also got some question marks. Kyle Whittingham comes over from Utah. What's he going to do with this team? What's he going to coach? Sharon Moore, he's gone. But he's got that situation, right? Not that Whittingham has to do anything about it, but whatever. It just I'm I'm not saying Michigan's going to be a bad team. I just don't think they're going to be better than Ohio State this year. That's my opinion. Oregon might be a better team than Ohio State. USC won't. Indiana won't. Texas, they might be neck and neck. I just like Texas on the road early in the season, and the fact that it's at night and how close the game was at the shoe last year, I just confidently am saying Texas in that game early. Sarkeesian's going to bounce back, have a big season with Arch, and I cannot wait for it. I'm pulling for Sarkeesian. Everything he did at Alabama, his story, and everything where he got today, how he got there, it's incredible. So again, looking at the schedule for Ohio State, it's pretty simple. It's straightforward. Win your conference, compete for the Big Ten, make the playoffs, and I think they will no doubt do all of that. I do have them winning the Big Ten this year, but I would also say Julian Sayin is possibly a Heisman finalist, but I don't think what I'm not going to do on these team previews. You will never see me pick a team 12-0 because it's so hard to predict who's going to do that. Not saying it's impossible for Ohio State. They most likely can and probably will. But I cannot personally say that without just having some questions and scratching my head. So Ohio State, I got you 10-2. I hope that's respectful. Y'all still make the playoffs. You have the loss to Texas, so you'll probably still make the Big Ten title game and probably beat whoever you play. It might be a rematch with Oregon. Could be Indiana. It might be Michigan again the week after. Who knows? But again, this is just what I have. This one's a little quick today. I'm gonna get out of here. I love y'all. Jesus loves you. Keep your head up. God bless. And let me know your thoughts on the Buckeyes down below in the comments. I love y'all.